A record-breaking week of frenzied trade concluded at Park Paddocks on Thursday with outstanding increases across the board. 16 lots broaching 7 figures and a sale topper of 4.4 million guineas, the second highest price ever achieved for a yearling in Europe. That sale-topping price on day one was very nearly reached again during a remarkably strong third session when a WOOTTON Basset colt from Lodge Park Stud realised a price of 4.3 million guineas, the highest price ever achieved for a colt at European yearling auction. Like the sale-topping lot, the colt was signed for by Keir Jarabshan's Ammo Racing team, who ended the week with a tally of 17 yearlings bought for nearly 20 million guineas.
We always knew, we had a plan. Myself and Alex and the rest of the team, Ben and the rest of the team, we had the plan that, this is a week that we need to make a change, and really go for pedigrees. And we know that we can't compete with the homebreds at the moment because the Coolmores and the Judmonts and the Godolphins and, the Shadwells and all those guys, they have so many great homebreds. And we've done our stats, we've done our research on that. And if you look at all the Group 1s, in the last few years, majority come from homebreds and well-bred horses, and at the moment we can't compete with that. So in order for us to compete, we have to really have a go, and so we've had a go, I think.
The big one today was the WOOTTON Basset colt, a beautiful colt. Tell us the plan for him and why he really stood out for you.
We had 4 big targets, and I said to Ace, if we don't achieve this, we've failed this week. Even last night we were having this conversation. I said, we've messed up the whole week if we don't get this guy. And, it was in our minds. We loved him. We thought he was just a perfect shape, perfect walk, perfect everything, And we knew that we had to take him home. He's going to Carl Burke, who we respect a lot, and we think he's a fantastic trainer. And hopefully there will be good success from him.
I think if you wanted to paint a horse, you'd try and paint a physical like that. But he's faultless. The horse is faultless. From the top of the page to the bottom of the page, from the farm he was reared on, they've had the family for however many generations. He was one of the most spectacular horses I've ever seen. I said to Keir when we showed him the horse, I said, Keir, you've been second in 2 derbies. There's every chance this horse can take you one place more. And from that moment, Keir locked on with Mr. Marinakis again, and the whole team, myself, Ben McElroy, who's a big cog in the wheel, and obviously Robson Aguirre, we all lined up, and I suppose you could call him a bullseye when everybody has the same opinion. It doesn't take much judgment to find horses like that. And as you know, because your family reared WOOTTON Basset, he was a spine-tingling horse. There wasn't much more I can say about it.
The only buyers to rival the might of Ammo Racing this week was Godolphin, who signed for a total of 18 lots for just topping 22 million guineas, a significant part of which was a Sayuni half-sister to Filly's mile winner Ylang Ylang, which they secured for 3.7 million guineas. The daughter of listed winner Shambolic was consigned by Newsells Park Stud, who ended the sale as the leading consigners, having also been responsible for the sale topper. She was owned and bred by the operations Graham Smith Bernal in partnership with Craig Bennett of Merry Fox Stud.
She was a gorgeous filly. Everyone was on her. She conducted herself impeccably. Including around the ring, nothing fazed her. She was getting a little tired towards the end yesterday, I think, but there was so many viewings. She was pulled out more than 400 times, and she's beautiful, and she really is a beautiful, beautiful filly. And we're obviously delighted to have sold her for that sort of money, but a little bit sad as well, because you never like to say goodbye to these. I get attached to them. You're there for. Since she was born. I remember seeing her being born. I think I was pulled down that night, and Shambolic's about to foal her lady's foal, and she was very special. I mean, so many of them are, but she was a very special filly, still is, and we wish our new owners all the best.
We went the extra mile because she's a very good-looking filly. She's a half-sister Group 1 winner. She's out of the Chaminel mare. She looked particularly racy. She moved very well, came from a good stud, so obviously the price was more than we anticipated. It was very competitive, but it's good to see, really, yeah.
A hush descends, ladies and gentlemen, because here is an absolutely stunning filly.
Camelot has enjoyed a fantastic year on the racecourse, largely through the exploits of his arc-winning daughter Blue Stocking, and it was a factor not lost on the Amo racing team, who stretched to 2.9 million guineas to secure a filly by the Derby winner out of a half-sister to Luxembourg. She was consigned by Camas Park Stud on behalf of the breeder Ben Sangster.
At 2,900,000, all done at 2,900,000. Amo Racing, thank you very much indeed, sir. 2,900,000.
WOOTTON Bassett's standout year on the racecourse continued to translate into the sales ring, with another offering by the Coolmore sire broaching 7 figures when a filly from the Castlebridge consignment out of Group 2 winner My Titania sold to William Haggis for 1.7 million guineas on behalf of the increasingly powerful partnership of owners Tony Bloom and Ian McAlevey.
She was bred by Mrs. Choi. We had the first 3 foals and they were all 115 plus at one stage in their careers. My Astra in particular has had a beautiful foal. I saw her in May at Giltown. She looks beautiful. So I was always keen on this filly when I knew she was coming to the sale and not retained anyway. And fortunately, some owners of mine were also keen. And after various rigorous tests to find the best, we plumped for her, and I'm delighted to say we got her.
A See the Stars sister to Group 1 winner Sea Silk Road also proved popular during the third session, with Godolphin going to 1.6 million guineas to add the collector's item to their week's haul. The daughter of listed winner Oriental Magic was a notable sale for her consigners Kildara Stud.
Absolutely thrilled. It's a long trip. You made the mare 3 years ago. It's a foal, it's a yearling, and now it's, she turned up here, did everything right, x-rayed fine, vetted fine, and she was very, very popular among a lot of high-end users. I think there's more emphasis now on classic breeding, and it's I think there's more ongoing value and value added for them over a longer period of time than just breeding sprinters. So we're always attracted to breed middle distance horses. We've sold expensive horses for clients before, but I think this is our highest ever for the farm, which is tremendous. It's sort of family owned operation. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that do a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort to get here, and it looks simple on the day, but there's a lot of pitfalls, but a day like today really makes it all worthwhile.
As the curtain came down on a sale that has surpassed even the loftiest of expectations, Tattersalls marketing director Jimmy George tried to make sense of the week's trade.
It's not often that I am totally lost for words, and I'm not totally lost, but I am, I think alongside all of us at Tattersalls, we're pretty taken aback by the extraordinary trade we've witnessed and experienced at the 2024 Tattersalls October Yearling Sale, Book 1. It has been truly remarkable from start to finish, and you've got to feel that something special was out there from the word go, from the moment the yearlings arrived here at Park Paddocks last week, and the buyers started coming into town from all over the world, and the feedback from the consigners, early in the weekend was, wow, we're busy, and we're busy showing yearlings to people that we've never seen here before. And that was, I think, one of the key things. We had an extraordinarily diverse crowd of buyers here from literally all over the world, particularly notable probably the very, very strong American contingent. I like to think it's success driven. The American buyers have been coming to Book 1 of the October Yearling Sale in significant numbers for a few years now, and they've had extraordinary success with multiple Grade 1 winners. Every time they come here, they end up buying another Grade 1 winner, and that clearly has not gone unnoticed. We've worked very hard trying to bring as many American buyers here to Book 1 as we could, and it's definitely paid dividends. It wasn't just the USA show, though. There were buyers here from literally all over the world, and the domestic demand at all levels of the market. Sometimes, we know that Book 1 of the October Yearling Sale is the elite yearling sale in Europe. These are the best yearlings to be found at any yearling sale. Certainly turf bred pretty well anywhere in the world. So the top of this market is always pretty robust, but this year it was at every single level, and that really is something for everybody to take I think a lot of not just pride from, but take encouragement from. That this, I think we saw over the past 3 days, a profound demand for quality yearlings, which perhaps maybe surprised a few people, but it's lovely to see.
And what are the key statistics and indicators that really kind of shout the health of this sale from the rooftops?
So it was a record turnover of just over 128 million guineas. Perhaps people might not be that surprised, bearing in mind the strength, but you have to bear in mind that this surpassed the previous record, which was a catalogue which had 102 more yearlings in it than we've had this year. So that in itself is pretty staggering. The average price was obviously a record. It was 372,000 guineas. The previous record was 298. So again, an extraordinary rise in that particular indicator. And again, the median, up from 180 last year to 250 this year. A lot of people feel that the median is the real indicator of strength in any sale, and yeah, it was up by a massive amount, and again a great demonstration of the strength we've seen from start to finish.
And Jimmy, you said you had quite high expectations coming in based on the number of people here on the sales ground. But how do you kind of quantify the success, and how do you even predict that sort of market, given the current kind of global economic climate? It seems somewhat at odds with with what else goes on in the world.
Yes, in some ways what we've seen over the last 3 days does seem a little bit sort of divorced from a few economic and social realities that the world is facing at the moment. But equally, it demonstrates a fundamental enthusiasm for the sport of horse racing, which is great news for all of us that are involved, and everybody here, every breeder, every consigner, every member of staff that is involved should take enormous satisfaction from that. They can be really proud of what they've achieved. The quality of horses that they bring to book one of the October Yearling Sale every year is unsurpassed, and they've been properly rewarded over the past few days. And we will see, as ever, an awful lot of these horses going on to perform at the very highest level throughout the world, and that's what makes book one of the October Yearling Sale the #1 yearling sale in Europe every year.